So you want more to life than just a job. And that's why you're watching this video, right? And you're the kind of person that we love because over the course of my career, I've trained up a lot of managers and I've just had the blessing of working with highly motivated, highly skilled individuals like yourself. So I'm super excited that you are considering a career move. And this is going to be a little bit different than what you've experienced in the past. We're not looking for employees, and I'll explain a little bit of that later. If you watch some of the other videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So the title is a little deceiving because yes, we need managers, but we more so need leaders. And a lot of people think that, well, managers are leaders and leaders are managers. And that is nowhere close to being close to the truth. In fact, some of you have worked for managers and some of you have worked for leaders. And the difference is, and we need both, right? The managers are the ones that are always telling us what to do, making sure we follow through. But the leaders are the brave ones who charge first into battle and lead the rest of us, right? And I've worked with some of the most amazing leaders in the past, and I'm pretty excited to have the opportunity to work with some new leaders here in the future, the next generation, if you may. And this is a startup. So Anton's is a startup, and the exciting part about it is that our other companies that we've built, like we've already got all those leadership positions all tiled in, right? And what we're looking for now with Anton's is the next generation of leadership, one of our sister companies that we can partner with, and we can have those other individuals like yourself that want more from life, that don't want a job, that don't want to punch the 9 to 5 and drone on and get to 70 years old and wish that you'd done something better. Your life starts today. And we want to help you come alongside and accomplish your dreams and your goals and such. So if you've watched some of our other videos, you've probably got a vision board. You've probably got a trajectory that you want your life to go in. And all we do is come alongside of you and help you get to that trajectory. And so I'm on task and you're not having to watch an hour-long video because, hey, I'm used to presenting to like boardrooms and such. You guys get the joy of watching me here on the camera. The rest of the team doesn't want to do it. So hopefully you'll be the face of the organization going forward because you're probably better looking than this face, right? I just don't mind being on the camera. I don't mind shooting these videos. But eventually we'd love somebody else to kind of take over the reins, right? So anyways, I digress. Really looking for the 4 E's for the most part. Right? And I'll write this down. Get a pen and paper. I'm a big fan of pen and paper. You might have like an iPad or something with a pen. Whatever the case is, write these things down. Because if you're a leader, you're a reader. You're a note taker, right? Embrace the culture. And if you wonder what their culture is about, read our vision. Read our company mottos, read our core values, right? It's very, very important that you embrace those, which is embracing people around you. And that's what they've kind of centered around, right? Embracing growth and embracing helping others and being that go-to person. Because as the leader, as the manager, you're the go-to person. And that's why you're here, right? Encouraging others. So that's the second E. Embrace culture, encouraging others. And because we don't have anything in life unless we have good relationships, whether those are work relationships, relationships with your spouse, relationships with your children, relationships with your friends, relationships with your parents. We don't have anything if we don't have good relationships. You might disagree with me, but I'm telling you, I always think of Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. When I get to the end of my time here, I hope that I make a difference, and I hope that I help you make a difference in your lives too, and that starts with relationships, so always be encouraging others. The third E is that we want to be engaged. We want to be super engaged on everything from day-to-day business to improvements. This has the opportunity, unlike other companies that are structured and they've got their SOP in place and what's their KPI, we don't have to worry about those things, right? We are at a point where we are developing the future. You get to have a part in that if you join at the beginning, right? If you join 5 years from now when it's established and you're like, I don't like the way things are run, too bad. This is the time to change it. This is the time to grab the opportunity. This is the time to place yourself at the top, right? So this is where the opportunity lies. And that piggybacks off of the other thing that I've bumped up to a lot because I was a corporate guy in corporate America, right? I started up a lot of businesses. I've helped a lot of other people become rich. And I want our team to be the recipient of all of our efforts, right? We don't want to help other people grow an empire anymore. We're growing an empire. And I think a lot of that comes from humility, right? We need to be humble to a degree, right? And we need to take our ego and get rid of it. So that's the fourth E, is ego eliminate. So that's kind of a double E. You like that? Finish strong. So anyways, eliminate the ego, because in the end, we all need to learn and adapt. This market's changing tremendously. We're implementing new AI protocols into this business at its inception. Isn't that great? That's amazing. AI isn't going to take away jobs. It's going to keep us from doing the grind eventually, right? And we're going to be in a spot where you're just doing the things that you are best at, right? So those are the 4 E's. And if you agree with the 4 E's, continue watching. If you're like, no, I have a big ego. I was the divisional vice president of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so was I. And you know what? I let my ego go and I was able to experience life more to the fullest. So if you're kind of stuck on that ego thing, and a lot of people are that are in leadership, right? We don't want that. We're just going to come straight out and just say, hey, listen, we don't want big egos in leadership right off the bat, so that there isn't any confusion 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, right? No ego right off the bat. We're humble students of life, always trying to do a little bit better than what we did before, right? So anyways, our competition has all the ego. Our competition are those big wigs and those ivory tower offices and such. That's not us, right? We're the humble people. We're in the trenches. We're fighting for you every single day. And that's how our culture is always going to be. I've worked for those people in the ivory towers in the past. I think all of us have at one point in time. I direct reported to the CEOs and such, and they don't have 9 times out of 10, they don't have, Jane, the entry level person, in mind. Our client isn't the clients that we talk to on the phone or our business partners or whatever. It's that person that trusted us enough to come over here and work with our group and is trusting us with their livelihood, their finances, their family. Jane's their client. Our entry-level people are our clients, right? Those are the most important people to us. If we do a good job helping them, training them, getting them to the next level, they will do a great job for our clients, our business partners, helping us get more chains of business in the door, which makes everybody win when everybody wins. So that's who our client is, not some big CEO or CFO in some ivory tower that you don't ever get to meet, right? We don't want those people. We want those people in the trenches. Anyhow, I'm getting off my soapbox here. So first is ownership in yourself. We want you to take ownership. If you're a leader, you are going through our leadership program. You are reading John Maxwell books on leadership, right? The leadership guy since the 70s. We are actually investing in ourselves. You will take some of the money that you earn and you'll buy books and classes and things of that nature to improve yourself. We're always improving. We don't want leaders that are, well, I've done it the same way for 45 years and never anybody's going to change me. We don't want that. I want to change. I want to be surrounded by people of change, people who are getting to the next level in life, people who are hungry and want to go further. So we really want people, if you're going to be a leader, you're the type of person that's not going to cheap out and skimp on yourself. You're going to invest in yourself. Anyways, I'll get off on that. There's a lot of ways you can invest in yourself, but if you don't find value in you, how is anybody else going to find value in you? Invest in yourself. And then secondly, invest in the company. Part of what we have for all leaders, as you can see by the pay plan, is that we give you options to invest in the company. What better time to invest than when the company is small and is growing, right? Once it reaches a high valuation, that initial period of opportunity is over with. Not to say that we're going to be a Google or even want to be a Google, but who wished that they could have bought Google, had Google stock back in the 90s? Me, right? Who sold their Google stock a little bit too early? Me. So anyways, we want to invest in what we believe and create those opportunities. So we're all about investing, and our group has the opportunity to invest in our other business lines as well as some of our real estate investing, which is a topic for another day. So anyways, invest in yourself first. This kind of piggybacks off of the ivory tower comment I made earlier. We want to pick leaders from within the company to run the company. I'm not going to hire a CEO or CFO from some other big conglomerate. I want to hire the people that are here in the trenches, that know what the day-to-day activities are and can make our day-to-day activities better. We want a very small amount of management so that way we can be agile and adaptive to market changes, because we don't want to be the Kmarts of the world that were once king and now we're gone. And we can name a bunch of them, Sears and a Blockbuster and all that, right? We want to be adaptive. We want to embrace the new changes coming down the lines, right? So, some of you might say, well, the mortgage industry, that's Anton's biggest client right now, is the mortgage business, right? And that goes up and down. And I get that, right? And we've built really, really solid mortgage branches in the past. How are we going to be certain that we can build it good for the future? And I've thought about that question a lot, right? How can I guarantee that you're going to be successful? And one, I can't guarantee anything because your success is up to you, but we've got the platform now. So yes, our initial offerings are for the mortgage, but we're going to have at least 5 build outs of clients. So that's where our business partners are so critical to our longevity. But right now, mortgage is booming. Don't listen to the news, because those are the big banks that rip off their clients and such. We don't rip people off. You can look at our core values. We will have the better pricing, the better rates, you name it, right? Better experience than those other places. So we have great products, and we want to really hone in on what's highest and best at the moment. But you're going to have at least 5 business lines attached to Anton, so that way you're recession proof. The market goes up, great. The market goes down, great. Right now, as I'm shooting this, it's an election year, and if one person gets elected and the economy does great, awesome, we're going to do fantastic. If a different person gets elected and the economy tanks, we're still going to be okay, because there's a lot of opportunity. It's like the Chinese character for chaos, I was told, has opportunity in it. I don't know. I don't speak Mandarin. But those of you who might, comment, let me know if that's true or not. But I always thought that was a cool thing. I learned it at one of those business conferences. Who knows? Some of the people up on stage, sometimes they're right on it. Sometimes they just make stuff up. Anyways, I digress. So culture is key, right? This mortgage opportunity, I'm just going to pause for a minute. It is right now, as I'm shooting this video, rates were at 7 and 8%. The market's down to the mid 6s, and we're offering pricing in the 5s. So we're gouging our competition right now, and that's why we want all the business coming in from Anton's as much as possible. So I'm running the mortgage business too, as if you couldn't guess, right? So I'm not just plugging this, right? I'm telling you that there's opportunities. We got thousands of people in our database that haven't been contacted that we need to be helping right away. I mean, this is like huge sense of urgency right now. So that kind of piggybacks into my next segue here, which is give it your all for your first 30 days. Try this out. Give it your all for your first 30 days and see what happens, right? Like, don't dip your toe in the water and keep that whatever other job that you get going on, or maybe you're still applying for jobs online. If you can commit to this for 30 to 90 days, I can make you successful. If you want to do this and drive Uber, I can't make you successful. I just can't. I know. I've trained entry-level managers. I've trained branch managers, area managers, divisionals, you name it. Anybody with like, oh, I really like to do this, but it's more like on the side, it's not going to work out so good. Just saying from experience, I've got 20 years of experience doing this. Give it your 110% for the first 30 days. Rely off those results and keep that pedal down for the first 90 days, and you'll see yourself in a great spot going forward in the future. How do we know that like call centers can work in the U.S. still, right? Because Anton's, we're a relationship business, but at our core, we're on the phones a lot. So we're similar to a call center, a virtual call center for the most part. And one of you will end up being picked as the manager or the leader to run our physical location. So we're going to buy a big office and stack it back out in the future. But right now, everybody's virtual, everybody's remote, right? And why aren't we sending those jobs overseas? And I love overseas people, and I think that they're going to do great. And we will have overseas people that are going to start up a division of their own. But I really, really want people here in the U.S. It's tried and true. I've built out many, and so I'm a little biased because I used to build out call centers here in the U.S. Right, smaller ones, not these like big conglomerates. I worked at B of A in the past. We're not going that route, right? We don't want thousands of people in cubicles. I think that's very bad for work-life balance. As you guys can tell, I'm very big on work-life balance. We work really hard on the business, and we work really hard on our relationships outside of the business. Because once again, you don't want to get to the end of your life and regret not doing something with your family or spending more time with your mom or whatever. But you want to work your tail off so that you have enough money to, I don't know, take your mom on that amazing vacation that she always wanted to go on. And I'm just throwing that out there. Do whatever you want with your money. But we don't want to have regrets, right? And so we want to build this out. We're going to have consistency. I think that as we build this out, as long as we've got the right people on the bus, and this is a self-weeding system. If you look at the pay plan, if you look at the growth plan, it's a self-weeding system. That way, we don't have idiots running the show. And I say that politely, because how many of you have worked for somebody, I've worked for a few of them, right, that just don't know anything about anything. I had one guy who was an executive who admittedly never, ever, ever was in this business or knew anything about it. He was friends with the CFO, CEO, somebody, right? And they hired him in because, well, they're pals. And I think that's the dumbest way to run a business, personally. So if you want favoritism or you want to, brown nose up your way to the top, this is not the business to do it. Everything is results oriented. You have good results, you grow. Your lifestyle improves. Your income goes up. This is well over a six-figure job. You could have assumed that by now, right? So you're making six figures, you're making your own hours, you can take vacations, you can do whatever you want, as long as those results are coming in. And that's the beauty of it. And you have control over your results. When you get to a certain level, you can hire your own assistants to run things while you're gone. All the things that you don't like to do, we're either going to have bots do it, or we're going to have other people who love doing that. You want to be passionate about what you do. But you're going to start off digging, right? Everybody starts off as an AE. I don't care if you built other businesses in the past. I don't care if you're the top dog. If your ego's up there, we don't want you anyways, right? You want to humble yourself. Start off as an AE, learn the life of the AE. Remember, that's our client, is the AE. The AE is the most important part of our business. Not the CEO, not the CFO, not the owners, not the investors, not Dave here. None of us are important as that AE. Nobody in a business is more important to them than them. right? Why? Because they are the ones who touch the clients, who touch our business partners, who touch the lives of others the most. And we need to do a great job for our clients and our business partners and such, because even though we're more like a call center, we are also extremely relationship based, as you could tell from the beginning of the video. We need to build amazing relationships. And the people that build the best relationships are the people who are treated the best. So we want to wrap our arms around the AEs and get them whatever they need. Now, if you're starting off in a VP position, you have not done what an AE has done. Right? So you need to do what an AE does and be successful as an AE so that you can lead them higher and higher and higher in the route, right? So some of you might say, well, the finance specialist is the most important role, or the VP or the AVP or SVP. No. It starts with that entry-level person. And you're thinking, Dave, don't we hire just about everybody as an AE? Yeah, pretty much. Because we don't know who's going to be successful. I'm going to share a couple of stories with you. Henna tattoo artist. Do you think a henna tattoo artist is going to be successful? I mean, this lady is the person that draws weird stuff on your hands. You know what I'm saying? It looks cool, but I mean, how is she going to be successful in this type of environment? I promise you, I was blessed enough to work with her. She was amazing. We hired her. She came in. She struggled for the first 3 months. Probably a little bit longer, right? And she did really, really good at the entry-level tasks. So we gave her a little bit more responsibilities, and we gave her a little bit more responsibilities. And then she became, my personal admin. And then I needed somebody to run our Plano location, and I gave her that branch. And that was kind of my baby branch, right? And then we made her an area manager. She was amazing, absolutely amazing. I think of a guy Dave. He was a waiter. He was one of our best people because he was hungry. He was broke his entire life. He went to college and couldn't get anything in his degree. He was like an English major or something. He just couldn't find anything. And he's working a job waiting tables. Brilliant guy, super hungry. Gave him the opportunity and he shot through the roof, right? I think of other people who were, one person that we had in the past, he did sold roofs, the door-to-door knocker. You know what I'm talking about. And he did Etsy on the side. Did really good, right? Another lady, she was another waitress. For some reason, waitresses and waiters do really well in this. Probably because they're good with people, right? If you're good with people, it makes this job a lot easier. So I'll get off that for a second, because what I wanted to just say is being an AE is probably one of the most important things that you can be in this business. And so we all start off there. I started off there. I was the guy that was on the phones, right? I had no ego. I got almost 2 degrees. I was mechanical engineer and IT. I graduated Dean's List. My ego was up here when I first got in this business, and it humbled me quick. It was getting like, when you get into sales, it's like getting punched in the face on a daily basis. But I realized I could make, this was 20 years ago plus, right? I'm the old dude, as you can tell. I could make 30 to 60, maybe 70 grand as either an IT person or an engineer. Or I could make 150 grand helping people get what they want, being in sales, not selling people stuff that they don't want, but asking them questions like, what is it that you want? What is it that you're looking for? Asking discovery questions, which is the script that the AE uses, right? And helping them get what they want, help me get what I wanted, which was enough money to afford my family and pay off those crazy student loans. There wasn't student loan forgiveness back then. Would have been nice, but so it was great. I loved it. I fell in love with helping people get what they want, help me get what I want. And then later I learned that helping leaders like yourself get what you want helps me get what I want, which is another successful business off the ground, right? I'm a serial entrepreneur and I love it. Yes, I worked at corporate America for way too long, but my true heart, my true passion is this. I want to invest in people like you because you invest in other people. So when I was younger, all I cared about was money. When I was broke, all I cared about was money. And then once I was making tons of money, all I cared about was job title. And then I became a big job title at a Fortune 50 company. Great, pat on the back. No, it sucked because all my life had been washed away. All my relationships had been destroyed because all I did was work. And I looked over my life and I was like, man, it really just boils down to relationships. And I'll tell you something, like, yeah, true, I live in a big house. I've got a few houses, right? I've got cars. I got everything that I could possibly want. And I just started giving stuff away because I just didn't want it or need it. Or I feel like sometimes the things that own you or you own you or whatever. So I'm at a different point in my life. I want to help people like you who are hungry and want something more. There's a reason why you're watching this video. There's a reason why you've spent more than 20 minutes listening to me ramble on, right? It's because you need more from your life. You know that there's something out there that's greater than you are, right? You know that there's something, a mission or a purpose or something that you could be accomplishing if you just had the resources. And I want to be the person that gives you the resources if you choose to work here. There's a lot of other great companies out there you can get a job at, right? I'm looking for something more. I'm looking for the people who, in this position, right, that want more from their life. And that more might be different, right? You might want a bunch of houses. You might want a bunch of cars. You might want to help out that local church. I like helping out, needy families. You might want to, invest in this stock. You might want to invest into children, or you might be like me and want to invest into other people. To me, the most rewarding thing is investing in other people. So anyways, I'm going to end it with that, right? You've watched this video long enough. If you're really interested, reach out to me or the team. Really, the team. I'm a little bit hard to get a hold of, but I want you to maybe jump on my calendar for 15 minutes in the next week or two. An interview, you can find an open slot. And if you're serious about this and you sign up and you start off as an AE and you want to be a leader, you want to run these businesses someday, or maybe you want to pioneer our charity. Yes, look at our stuff. We give our first 10% to charities. That's it. I believe that you can't outgive God. So we're going to give it away, right? We need somebody leading that and making sure that it happens and that we're encouraging others and that it's going to places of genuine need and not, whatever. I'll get off that for a second. But we need leaders. We've got leaders in our other business. They're absolutely fantastic. They're amazing. We love them a ton. Antons, that's what you're watching this video for. At this time that I'm shooting this, in 6 months it's going to be different. It's a startup right now. It is just now getting its traction. We've got 20 years of knowing that this system works, but we've spun it off into a brand new opportunity. 20 years of experience, 20 years of building, 20 years of awesomeness have been poured into this company that is just now getting off the ground. So that way it creates the best opportunities for all of us who aren't already slammed with our primary business, and we're giving you the opportunity to grow. So anyhow, reach out to me, get on my calendar, or just reach out to the team, ask any questions that you have. But this is a results career. The number one thing is fail forward. Just start doing it, start talking to people, start calling these clients that, the best time to call them was 2 months ago. The second best time is today. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So we want to have that sense of urgency. We want to get on the phone. We want to help them. And I want you to raise your hand and be like, Dave, I watched your video. I signed up. I'm crushing it. All my clients love me. Tell me what it takes to be the leader. And I will be more than happy to help you out. However, my disclaimer is this. If you're the kind of person that's kind of dipping your toe in the water and you've applied at 37 other companies, and you don't really want to sign up here, and you don't want to call customers, and relationships aren't important to you, and making money is not important to you, and you want to be a Facebook streamer or something in the future, this is not for you. Don't book an appointment with me. I'm a busy guy. My time is extremely valuable, as is yours, and we got to make sure that there are no distractions in life. Right? And I don't want to be distracted by the mediocre toe dippers. If you're watching this video and you are an achiever and you're a hustler, yes, I want to meet with you. And I want to see some of your results first. And I want you to hit me with the hardest questions possible. because this isn't my first rodeo and I want to make sure that you are successful. And who knows? You know, after a couple of years or whatever, maybe you'll be running the business. I'll be coming to you for advice. Oh my gosh, what did you do? You're absolutely amazing, right? Because I'm a student of life and I want to know how to help more people. So anyways, I digress. Thank you for watching this 30-minute video. It's a lot, but I hope you got a couple of gold nuggets out of it. And I hope you're super fired up, and let me know if you need anything else. Follow the steps to sign up below, right? And reach out to the team. See you soon. Nope.